This video will be about ecigs. Stands for electronic cigarettes. My name is Brent. I'm 56 years old. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 12, and so I've smoked for 44 years. But I got a head start in my nicotine addiction. A few times my mother was sitting down in her chair in the living room watching TV, and she would say, "Brent, light me a cigarette and bring it to me." I said, wow, I'm going to smoke a cigarette at around 8 years old. And invariably bringing it to her lit, I took a drag or two of it. So I started when I was 12, and I smoked every day. Everywhere I went, I brought a pack of cigarettes and a lighter. Every day I smoked for 44 years. I had a mother and a father. They both smoked. The power of nicotine was so strong. I didn't know this, but my mother had told my dad that she had quit cigarettes. And in the bathroom we had a bathtub, and along the wall on top of the bathtub was a window. I went into the bathroom one time and she was smoking a cigarette, standing in the empty, watered bathtub and smoking a cigarette and blowing it out the window. She told me, "Don't tell Daddy that I smoke." Okay. So I smoked. My dad smoked also, and he had quit for many years. So about the last 20 years of his life he had quit. But for about a year and a half of his life, he would call me over the phone and he said, "Brent, I can't breathe. I can't breathe, Brent. I need to go." So for a year and a half he lived like that, and he died in 2003 at the age of 80, a good enough age. My mother died at 56, my age right now, and she was a diabetic, and back then in the 60s, they didn't have as good information about diabetes as they do today. And she gave herself insulin shots. I shot her a few times with her insulin. But she died at 56 in 1981. I have no sisters, but I had two older brothers. My middle brother died of a heart attack at the age of 35 and back in 88. And he had smoked and quit and smoked and quit, and his heart didn't know how to act, so his heart just messed with him and gave him a heart attack. My older brother died in 03 at the age of 63. He had quit cigarettes, but he just died of a heart attack, so I kind of know where mine's going for. But I smoked, and after a few years of coughing heavily, and wheezing pretty much, shortness of breath, I had no really desire to quit cigarettes, but along with my breathing problems and burning holes in clothes and cigarettes and shirts, pants, but not really thinking of quitting cigarettes. I started reading articles online about ecigs, and people's posts to these articles, they would say that they started smoking ecigs and they quit cigarettes. Got my attention. More ecigs articles with more posts, so I started checking into it, and I found this website called Electronic Cigarettes Consumer Reviews.com. And at that website there's editors that work for the website that review different companies who make e-cigs, and there are many companies that do, and they also rate them. And there was one that I checked in, not really, but the other one I checked in was HaloCigs.com. This is a Halo Cig, if you can see it. And I ordered a starter kit, Triton tank starter kit, and it was supposed to come in on a Saturday, January 11th, but it hadn't come in by United States Postal System. And so for the last year and a half of me smoking, I used to roll my own cigarettes. And I rolled another one, and I thought to myself, will this be the last cigarette I will ever smoke? Didn't know. My package came in after I smoked that last cigarette, and I put it together, and I took a drag off of it, a draw, and I took another draw, and I thought I could easily do this instead of cigarettes. So I haven't smoked a cigarette in over 3 weeks. I have no desire to smoke a cigarette anymore. These ecigs that I've got, you press this button, it lights up, and you take a draw. You got flavor with it. I still get my nicotine. I just don't have the smoke, the fire. And I have no desire to smoke another cigarette. I'm not being paid by anybody from halocigs.com to say what I'm saying. But if you'd like to check into ecigs and possibly, like me, quit after 44 years. Quit cigarettes just like that after 44 years. Go to electronic cigarette consumerreviews.com, read on the website, and I think you will find that it's so easy to quit cigarettes if you have any slight desire to quit cigarettes, and of course if you do smoke. So go to ECCR, the videos has, electronic cigarettes consumerreviews.com. Thank you.